Act I. The forbidden village, low wind, faint wooden chimes clattering. They warned us never to speak its name. The elders of my village called it Caro Hollow, a settlement that once stood in the marshes at the edge of the Black Forest. It was burned from every map, erased from every record. If you asked why, the old ones would only cross themselves or spit into the dirt, muttering that the hollow ones still listen. When I was a child, those words were nothing more than a story to frighten us into obedience. But stories have teeth. Sometimes stories wait for you. It was last autumn, when the moon swelled sickly yellow and the marshes filled with fog, that I strayed too far into the woods. I was hunting, or perhaps running. I tell myself that part doesn't matter. What matters is that the fog carried me where no man was meant to go. When it thinned, I saw lanterns, dozens of them, swinging on crooked posts. They lit the outline of a village. Weather-beaten houses, roofs caved in, doors hanging open like broken mouths. A church steeple rising above it all, its bell crooked, like a neck snapped halfway through prayer. Caro Hollow, the place that wasn't supposed to exist. Act 2. Whispers of the hollow creaking wood, soft footsteps crunching leaves. At first I thought it was abandoned. The streets were lined with blackened scarecrows, their faces carved with hollow circles where eyes should be. Effigies, maybe, though they seemed to watch me as I passed. The air was thick with a smell I couldn't place at first, sweet metallic cloying. It clung to my throat like syrup. Only when I reached the square did I recognize it. Blood. Old, soaked into the wood of the well at the village center. I should have turned back then, but the hollow pulls at you. The way a cliff's edge whispers for you to lean just an inch too far. I found a journal in one of the houses, its pages wrinkled with mold. The ink was smeared, but I could still make out fragments. They come at night, faces taken, voices stolen. Not men, not beasts. Hollow. The pact was broken. They feed until the bell tolls dawn. Duh. The final entry was only 4 words, scrawled in frantic hand. They wear our skins. Da, da, da. The hollow ones appear low, distant chanting. Wind groans through empty streets. Night fell too quickly. Fog rose from the marsh like smoke from unseen fire, and then I heard them. It's not footsteps, not breathing, but something worse, mimicry. My mother's voice, calling my name from the shadows. My father's laugh echoing through the empty alleys, voices that belonged to the dead. Shapes emerged from the mist. At first, they looked human, tall, thin figures, draped in rags. But their faces, God, their faces were wrong. Hollow sockets where eyes should be, skin too loose, as though borrowed from others. Their mouths opened, not to speak, but to pour out the voices of those they had consumed. I ran, through alleys that shifted behind me, streets that twisted back on themselves. The village was alive, reshaping itself like a labyrinth to keep me inside. Always behind me, the sound of shuffling feet, and my own voice calling for me to wait. Act 4. The church and the bell. Low bell toll, distant and warped. The church was the only place left to run. I slammed the door shut, the sound echoing like thunder in the rotten nave. Candles flickered, though I hadn't lit them. And on the altar lay another book. Not a Bible, but something far older, bound in hide that felt too warm. I read by the shaking light, gave them our dead, and in return, they gave us harvest. We gave them our unbaptized, and in return, they gave us rain. We gave them the voices of those we silenced, and in return, they gave us silence. It was no curse. It was a covenant. The hollow ones were never driven away. They were invited, fed, worshipped. The bell above me creaked, though no wind stirred. It rang once, twice, each toll a heartbeat, each echo pulling the creatures closer. When I looked up, I saw them crawling along the rafters, heads twitching, jaws yawning wide. The bell tolled a 3rd time. Act 5. The feast chaotic whispers, overlapping voices, distant screams fading in and out. They fell upon me, hands cold as stone, nails like splinters. They didn't strike. They embraced. Dozens of them, pressing close, their hollow faces nuzzling against mine like mockeries of affection. And then the tearing began, not flesh, not bone. Something deeper. They pulled voice from throat, memory from skull. I felt myself unravel as they fed. Every scream I tried to make came out in the voice of someone else. My mother, my father, my childhood self, till nothing was left of me but echoes. Darkness closed in, and yet I awoke. Act 6. The returned soft wind, distant crickets, night fading into dawn. I was lying at the edge of the marsh. The village was gone. No lanterns, no crooked steeple, no hollow ones. Only trees, mist, and silence. But when I staggered back to my own village, people turned from me in fear. Children hid behind their mothers. The elders whispered the same word over and over: hollow. It was only when I looked into water that I understood. My reflection stared back, familiar and alien. My eyes gone, my face stretched empty. The hollow ones had not killed me. They had made me one of them. Closing. Low, droning hum. Final whisper. So now I walk. Voice borrowed, face stolen, body not mine. I returned to the marsh each night, waiting for the lanterns to glow again, waiting for the bell to toll. And if you ever find yourself wandering too far beneath a swollen yellow moon, beware the fog that pulls you astray. For the hollow ones are always hungry, and tonight they may wear your skin. Bell toll, fade to silence.